Hello, everybody, and welcome to this special edition program with the mayor of Pasadena, Jeff Wagner. I'm Andrea Gomez, and today we are here in the headquarters of the campaign. Mayor, how are you?
I am well. Thank you so much.
I already have my sign.
Well, good.
Yes, I'm gonna put it in my house, even though I don't live in Pasadena, but just to show you my support.
I appreciate your support.
From Houston.
From Houston. Yeah.
From Houston. But if you live here in Pasadena, just come here to the headquarters. The address and the phone number is on the screen. Just come here, grab your sign, support Mayor Jeff Wagner for the re-election, or become a volunteer. So many things that people can support you. It doesn't have to be with the financial support. If they don't have or they can't or whatever, it can be their time.
Yes.
Their time, or it can be with putting the sign in the yard.
Absolutely. Yes. And come down, join us on Saturday at 10 o'clock. Every Saturday at 10, we have people coming out and walking doors for us. And we've had a great response. I'm so overwhelmed how many people show up on their Saturdays to walk the neighborhoods to make sure that we get reelected. It means a lot to me.
Of course, block walking is when people go and you go and meet people in person, because Pasadena is pretty much like 150,000,
Right.
53,000.
Exactly.
It's growing, and
Yes.
it keeps growing. It's keep growing as our Latino community keep growing also.
Yes, exactly.
Because you guys have like 70% of the Latino population.
Yes. Very proud of that.
And
Very proud of
it keeps growing.
Yes,
The
it
Latino
is.
population.
Yes.
I mean, like I always said, the Latinos, we are like everywhere. I don't know, we like to have a lot of kids.
Nothing wrong in that.
No, nothing wrong. We keep growing in this country, we keep growing in Pasadena, we keep growing everywhere. Pero bienvenidos a este programa especial que tenemos con el alcalde de Pasadena, Jeff Wagner, quien está buscando la reelección este próximo 1 de mayo. Muy importante, no solamente saber quién es el alcalde de Pasadena, Jeff Wagner, su alcalde, quién está en su comunidad liderando todos los días, cambiándonos la vida, porque él se preocupa por las familias, la infraestructura, los trabajos. Y vamos a hablar precisamente el día de hoy de infraestructura. ¿Cómo ha cambiado la infraestructura en los últimos 4 años en Pasadena, teniendo en cuenta que tuvimos la crisis, una de las crisis más grandes cuando pegó el huracán Harvey, no solamente aquí en Pasadena, pero alrededor de la ciudad de Houston y los alrededores? Fue un impacto muy grande. ¿Y cómo ha cambiado y cómo se ha implementado la infraestructura desde entonces? Porque la infraestructura son las calles, las carreteras, todo lo que vemos alrededor, todos los parques que utilizamos. Es importante saber cómo ha mejorado la infraestructura, la cara de la ciudad en los últimos 4 años, desde que tomó posesión el alcalde de Pasadena en 2017, Jeff Wagner, y por qué está buscando la reelección este próximo 1 de mayo para seguir trabajando juntos los próximos 4 años, porque 4 años no son suficientes. I was telling everybody that how important is to talk about the infrastructure, how everything changed after Harvey, what you've been improving all these 4 years, but also why you want to keep working together, continuing together, working for the next 4 years, because 4 years, it's never enough.
You're right. It never is enough. But what we have and what we're planning to do is going to help Pasadena stay safe, especially during heavy rains. So far in my administration, which is coming up on 4 years, we've done over 43 miles of new street, drainage, and sidewalks. I'm thinking about that. That's from here to Galveston. So there's so much more to do. But I have noticed the streets that have been really ignored for many, many years. They're not being ignored any longer. If your street in front of your house is in sad condition, and some of them are, we're doing as fast as we can to get out there and get these streets fixed. Very serious about that. Our streets are going to be the best streets around. But again, it takes time, because we have to think about this. These streets didn't get this way under my administration. They've been this way. But look what we've done so far. 43 miles of new streets, drainage, and sidewalks. And there's so much more being built as we're speaking. Very excited about that.
And it's very important, Mayor, because, at least my experience in Houston, it's just a little bit of rain and that's it. It's flooding everywhere. And people are losing houses, people are losing cars, people are losing everything that they have inside of the house. It's something that we work so
Yes.
hard every day. Businesses, small businesses, that it's something that you always support. So infrastructure is so important. 4 years that everything changed. What is the major change after Harvey that you saw in Pasadena? You've been living in Pasadena pretty much all your life,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So, what is the major change that you said, okay, we need to definitely start working on this ASAP because Harvey changed our life?
Absolutely. And the change is when we redo streets, we're lowering the streets 2 feet with new drainage underneath. Why is that important? That keeps the water on the streets out of houses. That's the reason why FEMA was so excited with our plan. They never seen a plan like this. Usually, when cities and counties ask for FEMA money, it's just to rebuild what's already there. We thought totally different. We want to rebuild and fix something that's already there. So when we lower our streets 2 feet with new drainage underneath it, again, it holds the water in the streets, not the houses. That's why it's so important infrastructure. And you said it, Harvey changed everything.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing Harvey did change because we looked at it and we realized something's got to be fixed. And this is a solution we think we came up with that's really going to help water out of the houses.
43 millas que fueron rediseñadas, remodeladas, cambiadas completamente, el drenaje cambiando, porque sabemos que Harvey nos cambió la vida, Harvey nos cambió cómo estábamos viviendo, porque cualquier lluvia, cualquier momento se inundaba todo, pero Harvey definitivamente dejó completamente devastada el área. Cuando veíamos el mapa de zonas de inundaciones, Harvey nos cambió también el mapa, porque casas, áreas y lugares donde no se inundaba antes, Harvey nos cambió eso, empezaron a inundarse, entonces todo nos cambió. El plan del alcalde de Pasadena, Jeff Wagner, para cambiar todo esto era extraordinario, que FEMA ni siquiera podía creerlo porque no lo había visto nunca antes. Así que muy importante que durante los 4 años después de Harvey, y lo que él dice, qué bueno que Harvey nos vino a cambiar eso, que Harvey nos vino a despertar lo que teníamos que cambiar y que era urgente que cambiáramos la infraestructura de la ciudad de Pasadena, porque eso necesitaba cambiarse para mejorar el estilo y la calidad de vida de toda la comunidad de Pasadena. Es por eso que 4 años no son suficientes para cambiar todo y hacer verdaderamente la diferencia. Necesitamos 4 años más con el alcalde de Pasadena, Jeff Wagner. Es por eso que es importante que él está buscando la reelección durante los próximos 4 años y necesita su apoyo. ¿Cuál es su apoyo? Usted lo que tiene que ir es el mayo 1 a votar por el alcalde de Pasadena para tener la reelección y poder seguir trabajando juntos. Pero también están las votaciones anticipadas que comienzan abril 19 hasta abril 27. Es bien importante que salgamos a votar. Si usted no puede hacerlo, por tradicionalmente usted lo hacía el mayo 1, cuando es el día oficial de las elecciones, yo le digo que mejor salga antes, porque no sabemos qué va a pasar. Todo está cambiando, el clima está cambiando, a veces llueve o tenemos tantas cosas que nos están pasando y es mejor ir a apoyar al alcalde de Pasadena y a someter su voto durante las votaciones anticipadas. I'm talking about early voting.
Yes.
So important to go and vote. I always go and vote early voting. It's less hectic,
Yes.
less people, and especially now that we're living in these days with the pandemic, that we need to like social distancing and we need to, take all the measures and the
Yes.
security
Yes,
measures.
we do.
So it's better to go early voting.
Yes.
And you just take that headache out of the way. And it's so important to vote. Let me tell you something, Mayor. I am from Colombia. I became a U.S. citizen in this country in 2003. The first thing that I did after I became a U.S. citizen, it was to go and vote.
Wow.
Because I felt this country is my country.
Yes.
I felt Houston is my city. But also we have a sister city like Pasadena.
That's right.
And I have to come here very often to work. And I used to work at Univision and I used to come here to cover a lot of stories because you guys have 70% of the population is Latino. They speak Spanish. and they always have something to tell, stories.
Yes.
And that's why I'm telling my people, the Latino community, if you became a US citizen, go and vote, because this is our, not only our right, this is our obligation.
Yes.
I feel obligated in this country to go and vote, because this is the most important thing that you need to do in this country. I'm so grateful for this country, and the least thing that I can do is give back. How I can give back? Go and vote. Because if we don't choose our leaders, then don't come and complain that things are not changing. Don't come and complain that things are not happening. Because if we don't vote, what are we going to do? Don't complain.
That's right.
If you don't vote. And especially our Latino community, sometimes when you're born in this country, you take things for granted.
Yes.
But we don't. I don't take things for granted. The first thing I do always, and I always vote in the municipal elections and the presidential elections, but especially municipal elections, because that's what it impacts my life every single day. And that's why it's important. Who's going to change the infrastructure of my city?
That's
The
right.
mayor
That's right.
and the council members. Who's going to change the schools? Who's going to change the streets? Who's going to change parks? And I want to highlight the parks,
Yes.
mayor, because last year when COVID impact our life, people start like doing more exercise, being more outside, because the gathering just become like, being in the park.
Right.
Park becomes so important. But instead of you being reactive with COVID, you were proactive because you were working on parks before. And I want you talk about that.
Again, you said it so well, especially when I took office, I knew exactly what we had to do about our parks, improve them, and we've done that. So proud of our parks, especially after the pandemic hit. Our parks are being used more than ever before, and people are happy about it.
Mhm.
When you go to the park, they're clean. The equipment's out there. If they're not new, it's workable, and just everybody when they're in our parks know it's their parks and they really appreciate their parks, and I appreciate our parks. And speaking of parks, I have an announcement to make. On Preston and the Beltway, we're fixing to have a brand new park, and I'm very excited about that.
Wow.
If you look out there, there's a big lake. There's going to be a mile track around the lake, lighting, benches. It's going to be again another great park here in Pasadena.
Mayorana, I'm gonna say this en Spanish porque soy súper emocionada de hablar de todo lo que usted ha hecho con los parques de Pasadena, porque yo tuve la oportunidad de venir aquí a Pasadena el año pasado cuando estábamos haciendo la campaña del censo y cuando estábamos haciendo también toda la información en español para informar a la gente sobre COVID-19, y precisamente yo visité los parques. ¿Y por qué visité los parques? Porque quería enfatizar lo importante que es estar en familia o con los amigos al aire libre. Y qué mejor que en un parque. Tenemos familia, yo soy madre de familia, teníamos los hijos saliendo al parque, jugando en los playgrounds. Es algo que usted también ha hecho. Playgrounds. You improved the playgrounds. You brought a lot of playgrounds for the kids. I'm telling everybody, I am a mother. Well, my kids are teenagers, but I appreciate, and I appreciated that people are listening to this program right now. They're gonna agree with us. COVID, something that they brought us something good, is like we start exercising more.
Yes, yes.
We left these devices out of the way, and we start gathering in as family, as groups. So that's why it's so important what you've been doing with the parks and the playgrounds for our kids,
Yes.
because we know it's a lot of family in here in Pasadena. And I'm gonna say something. We Latinos, we like to have a lot of kids. So for sure, Latinos are taking advantage of those playgrounds that you're building in the parks.
Thank you. And again, we're very proud of them.
So what we need to do, we need to come here to the headquarters, grab your sign,
Yes,
put it in your yard, and also become a volunteer or make any donation, because we know, you need donations for your campaign to
that's
run.
true.
And the only thing that you need to do is that. But then besides that, just once April 19 to April 27, just go and vote. Early voting is so easy, so simple. You just need your voter registration, or you just need your ID, and it's so simple to vote. But more than simple, it's something that you're doing. That doing for your city,
Yes.
doing for yourself, doing for your family, because We need leaders that
Yes.
care about us. And I was mentioning to you, Mayor, before we came to the air, and I asked my producer to put that on the screen. Sometimes we think that politics, we cannot have everything in politics. But I would say, yes, we can. When we have somebody like you that is not only fiscally responsible, but also socially respectful. And that make a huge difference because I just didn't met you today. I
Right.
met you way before. And I was so impressed not only with you as a person, with your background, but also with everything that you have done here in Pasadena because you do it with your heart and you work with your wife all the time.
Yes.
All the time. I see your wife all the time supporting you. And that's what it's a leader. That's what it's a leader, not just a position, not a politic, not a politician that
Absolutely.
it's just like I care about, okay, vote for me, I promise, and I don't deliver. No, it takes somebody with you, like you, with your hard work. And that's where you could want to continue working together for the next 4 years for the community that is your community because you've been living here, even though that you were a police officer in HPD in Houston, but you were also care about your community, and that's why you became a council member.
Right.
And then you said, council member is only 2 years. That's not enough. I need to be a mayor. 4 years, and that's not enough. You need another
Yes.
4 more years to work for the community. Y por eso les estoy diciendo, una persona como Jeff Wagner, lo conocí hace un año cuando estábamos haciendo la campaña del censo, lo conocí hace un año cuando estábamos haciendo toda la campaña en español, porque a él le importa, aunque él no habla español, a él le importa la comunidad latina, porque él sabe que el 70% de la comunidad de Pasadena es latina y muchos hablan español, algunos ni siquiera hablan inglés, y era por eso importante para él llevar ese mensaje y llevarlo en su idioma, en español. Por eso, si usted puede votar, si usted como yo se hizo ciudadano americano, o si usted simplemente es latino, de descendencia latina, pero nació acá y puede votar, salga a votar este próximo 1 de mayo. Dele la oportunidad de 4 años más para que siga construyendo parques, para que siga mejorando Pasadena, para que siga mejorando la calidad de vida de nuestras familias aquí en Pasadena. Recuerde, mayo 1 son las elecciones, pero salga a votar antes. Yo le digo, salga a votar el 17 de abril hasta el 27 de abril, que son las elecciones anticipadas. Así que los voy a dejar ahora con la lista de las personas y las agencias y también uniones que lo están apoyando a usted, because many people want to continue together with you. And that's why you're getting a lot of endorsement. And
Yes.
we're going to put the list of the endorsement because that's very important that not only you're getting the vote for your community, but also unions, organizations, they know what you have done these 4 years and they want to continue together with
Yes.
you the next 4 years.
Yes. Again, you said it so well. Let's continue together.
So now I want to invite you guys to keep tuned with us because we're going to continue together with these programs, special editions programs, because we want not only people get to know you better, but we want to people know what you have done in these 4 years because not many people know. People see like, oh, well, now it's not flooding as before. Now we have more parks. So, but why? Everything have
Right.
everything has a reason, and it's because you've been working for the community. Well, Mayor, muchas gracias.
De nada.
Mira, de nada. And for next show, maybe he's gonna speak a little bit more Spanish. So I'll leave you guys with a video that he is with his wife, and he's telling his story, and a story not only about his background, but a story about what he have done these 4 years in the Pasadena, and also why he wants your support for the next 4 years. Nos vemos en la próxima.
Thank you.
I'm Jeff Wagner. For the last 4 years, it's been my honor to serve as mayor of Pasadena. We shared some pretty tough times. Hurricane Harvey, COVID-19, the big freeze, challenges that we got through together. I am running for re-election because I am proud of what we've done, but we have so much more to do. I know what it takes to get through tough times because I've been there.
In 1999, Jeff was a Houston police officer and he was involved in a terrible accident. A car swerved into his police bike on the freeway.
For a few months, I was in the hospital.
They first told us that he may not survive, and then they said he may be paralyzed and never walk again.
I'm so thankful for all the doctors, nurses, and physical therapists who helped me recover. And Jenny and our daughters were with me every step of the way.
Jeff knows what recovery means.
And as mayor, I want to help all families recover. When Hurricane Harvey hit, I helped lead over 1,000 emergency rescues throughout our community, and we helped all the families in need.
There were many days that Jeff slept in the office so that he could be there 24/7 for our community.
In the weeks after, we worked to secure FEMA funding to help rebuild Pasadena. We didn't want to just mitigate floods. We wanted to rebuild long neglected streets to prevent flooding and make them safer for seniors, children, and families. And just as we were rebuilding, we got hit with another disaster, COVID-19. We've been focused on getting economic aid to hard-hit small businesses and families, continuing to make infrastructure improvements for safer streets, and keeping close watch on our budget so we can invest without raising taxes.
Jeff loves serving and being part of the community.
I want to continue our progress, continue to rebuild, continue to recover, continuing together.